Wow. Hey, everybody. Welcome to Live It Out live stream. Oh, my goodness. We are going to have fun tonight. This is going to be good. Hey, so you know how we start. We just say, hello, everybody. You're listening to Eternal Impact's Live It Out live stream with John and Jennifer Garrick, where we unapologetically lift up the ways of Jesus. We promote grace. Oh, I'm so grateful for that. And strive to learn, to think, and live like Jesus. You need to know we believe in a triune God who loves us, calls us to live out the good news where we live, work, and play. So we always put that on there because, you know,
it's a good reminder.
Yeah, if we're going to get canceled, it's because of that, because we are totally in to Jesus and letting, you know, his impulses rule our life. So thanks for being with us. Very fun. Hey, we see a few people popping on here. I know we got a few texts saying people were coming on too. So I see there's people there. I see Addie said hello. Hey, Addie, good to see you. Addie was able
I want to know. Yeah, I want to know.
Oh my gosh. Okay, so just so everyone knows, we're just going to take that few minutes. We're going to interact. We shortened the what do you call it? Timer in the beginning because, you know, it was just too long.
Some stuff.
Oh man, so much going on.
Yeah.
But okay, first of all, we went live accidentally today. Thank you, Addie, for noticing.
I'm curious how many of you caught that accidental live stream.
Oh, it was so bad.
At whatever time that was.
I don't know. It was
today,
this afternoon.
Like 3 o'clock or something.
So you'll be hearing at the end of the show, we'll remind you, but we pre-recorded next week's show almost twice because we had guests in the studio, and as you can see, studio is our family room right now. We switched it out.
Came out of the cave.
Yep, came out of the cave, came down here.
You have a new background.
Yeah, so it's a little different, but we had to welcome in guests because we're going to be speaking at Christian Renewal next week, Christian Renewal Center, and at their family camp. So we said, hey, why don't we invite the directors of that in to interview? So we did the interview today that is going to air next week. And all that to say, it's been a wild day of recording, moving the studio around. It's just been nuts. So anyway, thank you, Addie, for jumping on there, realizing that we accidentally went live, and we're sitting there talking, la, la, la. Who knows what we were talking about?
Yeah, I don't even know what we were saying.
I don't know, but we were on for like 4 minutes until we realized our poor guests, they're going, what? Anyway, hey, Chris, good to see you on there as well. So fun. Man, I've missed seeing you in person, but what a gift to have you with us on the live stream. Very cool. And let's see. Addie said, I will DM you guys about it. Yeah, great. Thanks. Yeah. Don't embarrass us publicly. Just DM us about it. So,
yeah.
Oh, man. But that's right. Here, Chris, that is right. All secrets are revealed. All secrets are being revealed. But I am told that Addie said we did just... we're doing mic checks. That was all that went live. So that's good. I guess that's good. Who knows what we were doing. Yeah, even Matt, there's a couple other people. Matt said, you know, I was like, what? In other words, what were you guys doing when you were on there? He's like, I don't think I'll ever watch your live stream again, you freaks. But anyway, no, it's true. Well, hey, enough of that. Yeah, but that's what it is. So speaking of freaks and nutcases and all that, let me talk about myself.
That was a good segue.
It was. Yeah. I'm just going to say, I'm going to let you all know, those that are listening right now, some of you know already because you've been texting me and checking in on me and all that kind of stuff. But yeah, those of you know, I got in an accident 5 years ago. I'm not supposed to be doing ladders and crazy things like that. But this last week, we're doing a ton on Shiloh Homestead, which is our home, getting it ready for welcoming guests this September. We'll talk about that in a minute. But tons of work. Had workers here, getting the property ready, all that. And I need to get some trees trimmed so we can even get a fifth wheel down the driveway in the next month or so. And so I went up, Sam and I, my son, we went up, and I just went up foolishly real quick with the ladder and the chainsaw to get just this one last branch I needed to get. And I didn't think it through. I didn't use safety. I was a dork knob. And all that to say, the branch that we cut swung down, hit the ladder 15 feet in the air, and my body and the chainsaw went flying. The chainsaw landed next to my head, which, you know, is a good place. Could have been worse. So that's good. And good news, I have a Steel chainsaw. That baby was still running. It was doing great. So maybe can Steel sponsor this live stream?
Really.
Anyway, it was a great chainsaw. Unfortunately, I didn't break any ribs.
No.
That's good.
Yeah.
The upper body there was okay. But if I'm a little stiff, it's because I had to go again to the doctor, the chiropractor again today to get some adjustments done. I just bruised up a lot of stuff, cut up a lot of stuff, but I didn't break anything.
That's a
good.
miracle.
Yeah.
I think that you're like the Apostle Paul. You have been.
Are you saying I'm going to get
You've been
bitten
left
by a
for dead.
serpent anytime
You've been
soon?
stranded.
Wow.
And yet you get up and keep going on.
Let me tell you, I'm not going to compare myself to Apostle Paul. That's for sure. I mean, and I'm not looking to want to have to go to prison and to.
I wanted to beat you with
eaten
rods,
by
though, after you
by
did
serpents. eaten by sermons. Wow, that's interesting.
Oh, I've been eaten up
All
by
right.
a sermon.
Yes, I do. It is praise God, though. We really are grateful.
I'm glad you're here.
Yeah, and you're right. I do need to take it a little easy. You're not 25. Yeah, that's a fact. That's a fact, Mr.
So good at
Gunderson.
reminding us how old
Yeah,
we are.
last week, wasn't it? Don't you remember when Addie talked about TikTok?
Yeah, I know. I said a lot of old people are on
a lot
there.
of old people are on TikTok. Oh, man, there's gray hair and walkers everywhere on TikTok. Thanks.
There's hope for us, huh?
Yeah, it's crazy. Anyway, well, yeah, that's what's going on. So I just wanted to confess it now because we are talking about confession and some spiritual rhythms and disciplines tonight, but we're not going to dive into that. But I will tell you, I did have to talk to my son. He's almost 20, and I had to tell him that I had to apologize. I should not have put him in that situation. He shouldn't have had to see me in that.
Because he was holding the ladder.
He was holding the ladder, and I shouldn't have been above him without the chainsaw tied off, without me tied off. I was just foolish. So had to confess that was one of those examples of, son, this is exactly what you should never do as a dad. All right. So congratulations.
Let that be a lesson to you.
And forgive me. So I did. I needed his forgiveness.
All is forgiven,
Yeah.
and we're glad you're here. This live stream would not be the same without you.
Yeah.
My life would not be the same without you. I'm glad you're here.
I'm glad I am too. I'm trying to look at some of these comments. I'm not going to put them all up, but I'd be him too if I, yeah. Okay. All these people. Oh my gosh. Yeah, a pole saw next time. Yeah, that's a good idea. Pole saw. That's probably a good idea. Next time, no gas powered anything. And how about this one? How about no saw? And I'm just getting someone else to do it next time. That's right. I'm going to get someone else to do it. So, hey, Vicky Gatley, hello to you. It says driving home from Hosanna's house. Hello there. Hey, it's so cool that on the live stream, people can actually do it mobile too. It's the coolest thing. When you think about the fact that two dopes from Oregon City, one dope and an amazing woman. All right, I'll go with that. But two people from Oregon City, we just go live on this and we can start joining and welcoming people from all over the world. So knowing that, I want to remind you that this is a good time to share the live stream, share with others so they know what's going on. And
of course, you want to subscribe. You want to push the like button, hit that bell, do all of those bells and whistles because it helps us out a whole lot. And that way you're reminded when we're going to go live. And when we're not planning to go live, you'll be aware of our bloopers, which those could get pretty interesting if that kind of stuff happens.
So basically subscribe so you can see us make fools of ourselves.
Addie got a nice little surprise this afternoon because she subscribes.
That's awesome.
Or at least gets those notifications. So do us a favor and click those buttons for us.
That's right, Matt. That's right. They're thinking like a capitalist. Let's get them monetized. That's for sure.
Yes.
And we had a lot of subscribers we need to be able to do that. I mean, and if that's what the Lord wants, that's what he wants. That'd be great. I'd love to pay some of the bills, but at this point, it's a labor of love. We absolutely love it. And we're just having a great time connecting with people. And thank you for those that not only are commenting during the live stream, but we're getting a lot of people that are sending us personal messages. Some people that are getting, although there is going to be I need to come up with a term, I guess just spectator is the one, because we are getting people all the time because we can see the numbers. There's people, watching and far more than that are commenting. Well, even that are live. but they're spectating. They're like hanging
They're hiding out
You know, they don't want to
there.
say anything. And
They're
then
so
they'll
shy.
Yeah, and then they'll give a comment. It's like, oh yeah, what you said last week, that was really good. And what? You were there, you didn't even comment, you slacker.
Say hi.
Yeah, say hi to us. Let us know where you're coming from. Be like Roxy, because Roxy, that's right, Roxy is in Korea.
Hey, see, if Roxy can do it from Korea,
Yes.
you can do it from your home,
Roxy,
wherever you are.
so glad. What a gift to have you with us. And by the way, your book, you won one of the books. And we had such a privilege because Roxy messaged us and said, hey, don't mail it. I'm going to be in the Oregon City area on a certain date. And she gave us the date. And we said, let's make sure.
She took it a notch above.
Yeah, she's going to get a free cup of coffee and a book. So we're looking forward to that already for sure. Yeah. But please do comment. Let us know that you're here, what you're doing, and where you're listening from. So it's very fun. Since you mentioned Korea, I am just going to mention this real quick, hon, and then we'll keep moving on. We have been facing some flag issues with Facebook, not with YouTube. No, YouTube too, with both of them, because I guess our intro music, we had that professionally done by someone and we paid for royalty-free music and all that. So we've been getting these flags. And I don't even really know what that means, except I know in North Korea, they're not able to listen to us, but I guess that's everyone isn't able to be listened to in North Korea. Russia, a few other countries. There's, I think, 22 countries that they flag because there's international copyrights on that, even though it's not copyrighted in the U.S. So there are some, we've been getting some messages and we're getting some info as to how we can fix that. But
we're trying to do this as legal as we possibly know how.
Yeah, and most of our audience is in the United States, but we have others.
Obviously, it reaches outside.
Yeah,
so.
we every night we have someone from another country participating. So, all right. Well, listen. Let's thank our sponsors, which is real brief because our main sponsor is Eternal Impact. But what does that mean, hon?
Well, that just means that our wonderful friends who are giving to Eternal Impact are making this possible for us to be with you weekly, as well as the ability to see our future in opening the retreat home, and everything that we're doing is because of friends like you that are helping support this ministry. And it means a ton to John and I. We love this. We love to connect with you this way. And we just want to thank you personally for all that you do in supporting Eternal Impact and allowing us to do the live stream.
Yeah. Amen. Thank you for that. And if you want to be a part of the posse that is supporting Eternal Impact, just simply go to eternalimpact.org. It's a 501c3 Christian ministry in the United States. The website is got tons of details. Again, we over communicate, I think, and the newsletter is up for July, and it's really a great story this month that Jennifer wrote, highlighting a tribute,
kind of a tribute
to Drini Croston, a very special lady who passed away this last year that's influenced us and the ministry of Eternal Impact over the years.
You'll want to read that.
Yeah, read that, check it out. And Jennifer, thanks for writing that, and also tied it into just kind of the legacy that there is for you by investing in the kingdom of God. So check that out. It's online. It's free for you. Just go to the monthly mailers. I think it's on the, you'll see it. You'll see it. Just go there. You'll get it. Hey, I just got to say again, as people are coming on, we're going to go in just a minute to some announcement about Shiloh House, because we want to let people know, but, just seeing other people, so fun. Hey, Sherry. Oh, another winner, by the way. Not only a winner, but has sent us a winning dad joke as well. So very cool. Lisa, very fun to have you here. Friends of Addie and David. So very cool.
Welcome.
Cool to have you. Yeah, she's in is it Redmond? Or
Redland.
Oh, Redland, Oregon. Okay, Redland. Oh, okay, so close.
That's not
just
too far away.
Very close to us, down the road. Okay, and then one note is that hit that notification button, guys, and go check out the Eternal Impact website. That's right, for Facebook, the Eternal Impact page. You can like that as well as our personal page.
Thank you, Addie.
Thanks, Addie. Good reminder.
Yeah.
All right.
So
highlights before we get into our subject, because the subject's good tonight. So let's dive in.
Oops.
But highlight, Shiloh.
So as John mentioned, next week it will be. Our show will not be live, but pre-recorded as we did this afternoon. And that is because we'll be at family camp speaking starting Monday and going through Friday. We've mentioned this, and I believe that you can go see information about it on the website.
It might be full.
To our other.
Yeah, it might be full. I think that it's maxed out already on the registrations, but next year But check out next week's show.
Yeah.
Because it'll be
highlighting the Christian Renewal Center where we will be serving next Thursday. So,
cool.
And then other big news this week, we were finally able to go live with our Shiloh Homestead applications going out. So if you know of young men that are looking for affordable housing and want to be in Christian fellowship in a home, let us know.
Yep.
Private message us, send us an email, and we will shoot off the application packet and all the information to you. So we're excited about this.
Yeah, we are.
It's going to be great.
People have been asking us too, like, is it a program that you go
not
through?
A program.
It's really not. I mean,
No.
to be fair, there is programmatic. It's not. It's in between what a program is and between someone renting a room. You know, it's kind of in between because it's not really just renting a room. We've made it incredibly affordable on the marketplace here in the Portland metro area. When the applicants that have sent stuff in so far are seeing the prices and looking at the house and the property, like, okay, yes, it's a deal. But it's more than that. It is really, think Christian fraternity. Yeah. I mean, just a band of brothers. There's only going to max 7 that will be here.
Yeah.
You'll have some mentorship through both Jennifer and I when we are here, as well as we have other leaders that are going to be investing in these men from the marketplace and from spiritual leaders. And so it's not really a program because it's not all these do's and don'ts, all the things you got to do. But it does have a structure. It does have a structure to it. And there's a fireside chat every week for about an hour and a half where you just kind of talk about, life and pray together and just check in on each other. Yeah. But it's not like a structured program, so
it's fellowship.
Yeah. More on that later.
Fellowship.
Bottom line, all of it's in print. We got it all back from the lawyer finally. And so it's ready to go. So instant message us, or wait a minute. That was not instant message. DM us, boy.
If you could use AOL Messenger, that'd be great.
No.
Instant
send me a DM or send us an email, office@eternalimpact.org. If you have other contact information, just email us or call us. We will get it to you. The website does not have it quite yet, but it's there. Okay, so just make sure that you check it out. And now's the time because it'll filling.
Fill fast.
Yes, we only have like 2 days that we've put it out, and we already have 3 different people interested and want to do it. So please do
jump on it while you can.
Yep, jump on it. Yep. Okay. Well, we do every week a flashback before we get into our big meat discussion for today. We flash back to the previous show. Last week, you remember, it was about celebration. We had fantastic. I'm not even going to say
celebration.
Oh, sorry, not celebration. Living out the gospel. That was 2 weeks ago.
Before.
What day is it? But about living out the gospel in sports and organized sports and how we do that. And, a lot of great questions came up. Some came into us even since the show during the restream. And this is what I want to flashback. I want to reflect on the balance of sports and your spiritual formation. Okay. So, bottom line is we had a question about parenting, and we had talked about it. About how hard it is when sports take up such an amount of time for young people that spiritual formation kind of gets pushed to the side. And I'm just going to be straight up honest with you. I love sports. I absolutely love the ministry of fellowship. Can I say what it is? Yeah, fellowship. I'll give them a hint. Fellowship of Christian Athletes. That has to do with our question coming up. But Fellowship of Christian Athletes. I love the ministry. I love everything they do because they're rock stars. And what an opportunity to be able to minister to that group. And if you didn't have a chance to hear Kristen's interview from last week about that, please do. She's the new director for that organization in the state of Oregon, and she's just fabulous. But here's what the question that came up is, how do we balance that? Well, I'm going to be honest with you. Jesus was real clear about this stuff. He is not interested in taking second place. Okay, he's just not. Matter of fact, the first of the 10 commandments, thou shalt have no other God before you. Okay, we're not to worship another God. Now, I don't believe that playing sports and being highly engaged in sports or theater or, music or any other things, like our kids were involved in a lot, and you and I were involved in a lot of different things, organized sports. But here's the thing. What good is it to gain the whole world and forfeit your soul? Now, there are exceptions. I know some NCAA players that have been discipled by their parents and in different sports, and pros that have been discipled by people that are living out for Christ, and they are professionals, okay? Or they're playing at a high level of sports in prep school and in college. But here's the deal. Let's be honest with ourselves. Less than 1% of all these young people that are playing tennis and golf and all that are going to go pro. But 100% of them need to know of the love and the grace of Christ that is pulsating in their lives, or not. They need to know of what's available for them to grow in this love that God has offered them through Jesus. And so he simply said, what good is it to gain the whole world and forfeit your soul? It's rhetorical. Nothing. So we're not saying, as we flash back to last week's, show, and this question that's really very real and authentic in the lives of parents, because we wrestle with these things all the time. How do we, the balance, the money, the finances, all that? We were talking to some parents that they can't give financially to support the church, their church or ministry, because they're spending thousands, not hundreds, thousands of dollars on sports for their 2 or 3 kids that are under the age of 18, So I just want you to think about that. That was our flashback, that we are definitely not advocating bagging sports or, any of those kind of things.
Not bashing.
Not bashing at all, because organized sports, all that is just amazing. But
counting the cost.
Yeah, count the cost, and don't count it while thinking, okay, well, my kid needs a scholarship, or my kids, your kids need values. They need a worldview that will give them grounding, that will stabilize them in the marketplace, in their community, in their relationships with peers, with the future mate for their life. All of those things. That's where the energy and the effort should be poured out, because where your treasure is, Jesus said, there your heart will be also. So that's just our flashback for the week. We can talk more about it. If you have comments, you can, put them in the notes. We'd love to hear from them. But there's certain things that we cannot do, like when Vicky says, hey, it froze on me. You still shot, what does it say? You still shot if you guys threw. I don't know. That's an incomplete sentence. But either way, we cannot change bandwidth around the world. And if you're driving, it may cut out. Yeah. That could happen. So circle back with us when you get back online, and we love it. So, all right.
So
well,
what are we talking about tonight?
Yeah. So tonight, we really want to just dive in a little bit here. We got about 30 minutes, and I want to be able to talk about this idea of spiritual rhythms. Okay, so do spiritual rhythms really matter? I mean, do they?
Hear about them a lot.
Yeah, I mean, we talk about all sorts of things that we commit to, and that we, diets and different things like that we have to adjust our lives in order to get the rewards that we're looking for a certain thing. But I just want to talk about some of these spiritual rhythms. And this last week, and I'm looking forward, we haven't had a lot of chance to talk about it, honey, really, this subject matter.
This is all off the cuff.
Yeah, off the cuff. But I'm looking forward to hearing kind of what the Lord's been speaking to you about recently too. And, we're, as we're, processing through this. But this last week I posted on Facebook. Was it just Facebook? Yeah, just on Facebook. And it was just, I was back from my run. I was just, sharing how crazy the last couple of weeks have been. And how with our Team G fireworks that we did and the 4th of July and all that, man, all of my spiritual rhythms and disciplines got flushed for almost 2 weeks.
Yeah.
It was brutal. I mean, I was not praying like, I normally do on a day. I was not taking time for, I've been on this discipline for 20 minutes a day in contemplative prayer and meditation. Man, it got shoved to the side. The tyranny, the urgent started coming. We needed to, all the stuff we had to do. And then other things started slipping. It's like, oh, well, I don't have time to really read the Gospels today. I'll do that later. And, oh, man, the flyby prayers, you're just flying by. It's like, oh, Lord, bless this. As we're going, oh, man, I need your strength. I need help. And that's great.
We're supposed to pray without ceasing, right?
Yeah.
Throughout the day.
But what Paul was meaning is not like just, whenever you have time, just say a prayer. He was saying, no, make meditating on God, make the recognition of the Holy Spirit in our lives constant in your life, so that whether we're doing whatever, getting a haircut, whether we're working as a patrol officer, whether a teacher, whatever, we're understanding and recognizing, wow, the presence of the living God is with us. But I'll be honest, it was nuts. It was just crazy. And Sabbath, that was another one. It's real important for us. Man, I worked, I think, 13 hours that day.
That was a big day.
That was a big day. And I just didn't.
That was not a day of rest.
Yeah. And here's what else I didn't do. I didn't adjust my rhythm to fix that, right? So now they say, okay, my ox is in the ditch, so to speak. That's what's in the New Testament. Jesus gives that example. Okay, you got to work on this. What are you going to do to adjust then to create another Sabbath so you have the rest you need when you go forward to work? I didn't do it. I just plowed through, and honestly, I confess it. It's important for us to confess. That's why I confessed it on the thing. I just want to be real and honest. I don't want to come across, Jennifer and I don't want to be pious.
We've got it all together.
Oh, yes, this is what you must do, is be just like us. That's not what we're saying at all. But it's real. Yeah. It's real. And here's what I'm telling you. It affected my life. It affected my soul. Even in just 2 weeks, going from that and realizing that I just was letting things infect my life, that it just wasn't healthy. So I had to confess that. And interesting enough, it's that same kind of, then you start making decisions at a quick, even like the ladder, for those that are just jumping on. Yes, I was a dork and got on a ladder this week and had a fall, and that's a whole other thing. You can go back and listen to the beginning part. I shouldn't have been up there. I shouldn't have been doing it the way I did, but I was getting, busy, rushed, who cares about rhythm and doing it? I just got to get get it done. And I think so much of our life seems to be that way. Now, I want to know what you guys think. Jennifer and I are going to share a little bit from our perspective, but I know there's more people. We're seeing more people on there. I see Mary popped on from California. Very cool. Mary, I'm glad you're there very much. But let's talk about this. I want to know what your guys' perspectives are on this. As some of the questions are coming in, Hun, let me just ask you, what are, for you, what right now, just you were kind of in that same lifestyle with me, with everything. You had a little more time, at home and that, but just in general, talk about what's in your heart and when it even comes to spiritual rhythms that we set aside.
Well, it is very much like any kind of health discipline, like my walking and things. Every time I am in those rhythms, I benefit so much from them, feeling connected with the Lord. And when we got so busy, I was cutting corners everywhere as well. And before I knew it, I'm just feeling very distant from the Lord. Whereas before I felt closer to him. And my time with him was just rushed, and I went from, I get to do this to, I need to just check this box and say, I've had a quiet time with the Lord and move on. And that's a kind of a waste of time. It doesn't nourish my soul. That was hard. And I'm grateful that we're kind of slowly getting back into that rhythm, but it's difficult when life gets busy around you. You really have to be disciplined and intentional. I guess that's the word.
That's a good word.
But what, even when I was trying to be intentional, it took a greater measure of strength to push through the clutter in my mind. Just, I don't know about you, but when you did make that time to quiet your mind is not, that's a difficult thing for me to do anyway. Then you add the rushed pace on top of that, and it was really, it was hard.
Yeah. And I think, again, I want to hear from you guys. What do you think are some of I'll ask the question like this is, what do you think are some of the barriers, the hindrances to us having healthy rhythms? Let me give an example. Like if we want to get healthy in our body, what do? We think, well, we need to eat right. We need to have nutrition. We need to have exercise. We need to have movement, all those things. Okay. Well, that's a concept. That's good. Those are disciplines that we need to do. But we all know that until we start adjusting the rhythm, hours just aren't created in the day. Habits aren't just formed. They take time, right? So, there may be practical things like, okay, well, I've got this much food though. We don't want to just throw this food away. Do we eat this and eat it in moderation until we can, get on a better, schedule? Am I going to join a gym? Do I have enough discipline to be able to just do it within my home? Am I going to get cardio and walk? Just all those normal things that I think are very relevant for people that are, thinking of their health. It's that same thing when we think of the health of our soul. Or do we? Do we? We don't have to do these things. God's not saying you have to. He's saying you get to. You get to. And I think I want to be clear about that. We don't want to be legalistic in this. This entire process is saturated with God's grace. It really is grace. And grace, again, is what we get that we don't deserve. Okay?
Right. We're never going to get this perfect
No.
every day. And he understands that.
Yeah. And that's not, the plan is not for that kind of perfection. We can talk a different time what Jesus meant when he said, be perfect like the Heavenly Father is perfect, when he talks about in the gospel. That had to do with love, perfect love, and being loving. That's a different thing. He was not talking about every one of your habits and your rhythms being perfect.
Don't
like the
ever
Heavenly
make a
Father.
mistake.
Yeah. So that's not what he was saying. But it is important for us to, if we don't think about this, if we don't consider it, then what happens is we just don't do it.
It just kind of slips away, and then you're out of the habit completely.
Yeah.
One of the mornings that we were selling the fireworks, I was manning the ship while the guys were gone, and we didn't have any customers for 2 hours. And that could be discouraging, but I had brought our Celebration of Discipline book. And decided I would just use that time to read. And I was so grateful that nobody came, because I got to just be quiet with the Lord for a couple of hours. And until I did that, I didn't realize how depleted spiritually I had felt. Because after I was done reading, I was just energized. I was encouraged. I had been spiritually fed, and I didn't even realize how hungry for him that I was, because I was just going. So kind of like if you're not good at drinking water, sometimes you just keep going until all of a sudden you take a little sip and realize, I am so thirsty. And we need it regularly, but we often just get busy and forget.
Yeah.
And think we can go without it.
Yeah. Is this what you guys struggle with? I mean, is this real?
With
Can you relate with that? Because I hope so, or we're nuts. And you guys you need to lead the show. But here's something else that I was thinking about when you're talking about that. It sometimes can be good things that are keeping us from the best thing, right? Good things.
Good point.
No matter what it is, it could be a good thing. It doesn't mean that you take all things out of your life, because they're good things. For instance, we did Team G fireworks. For those that don't know, we have a little fireworks thing on the side that for the last couple of years we've done to raise support for ministry, as well for our trip to New Zealand. Where we want to see our daughter-in-law and our daughter and son-in-law in New Zealand. Do we have a daughter-in-law? I don't know about this. But anyway, daughter, Leslie and Sully. So anyway, my point with that is that that's a noble cause. It's a noble thing. It was working hard. It's, those are good things. I'm a free market capitalist, so it all made sense and everything was good. However, even a good thing, I could justify and say, well, we're launching Adventurous Apologetics, which, by the way, we'll look forward to announcing through a newsletter soon about how much we were able to raise for Adventurous Apologetics, as well as we're building a house for a pastor in Uganda, which we're so excited about. And some of the funds from Team G gets to go towards that as well. But see, even that, it's like, but it's a good thing. So it's okay to let that take over all of your rhythm, all of your disciplines. We could say that with anything. Right? We can say that anything, even like, I'm so involved in church. I'm doing all the things in church, and I'm doing. But we spend so much time doing, and we just become this human doing. We forget about what we're being. Are we a human being? How's my soul? Am I healthy? And so I just know that as we interact and we serve and coach and help others, that is often a challenge that people are faced with. And it seems to me that, first of all, there needs to be that point of confession where we just need to be honest. And it's okay to confess it, to say that this is something that we're struggling with. Walk in the light as he is in the light. He will forgive us of our sins, says in 1 John, and he will give us fellowship with one another. So my encouragement to you is identify those people in your life that are your inner circle spiritually, that are your soul nurturers, we use church words, fellowship, things like that. But I'm not talking about social connection. Hey, we worship and sing songs together, or that. I'm just talking about people that you can really confess and say, and sometimes a husband, wife. I know for Jennifer and I, that's my first point where I want to, be after 31 years of marriage, 35 years of being together, that's important for us to be able to be honest with each other about those areas and just be able to confess those and to give each other grace. But remember too, it's by faith. It's not by your works. It's not by, how great you are. No, it's just by your faith, seeing what it could be, seeing what it should be, and stepping out in that faith.
I got a question for you.
Yeah, go ahead. And then I just all want to say, as you're throwing that question out, I'm looking at some of the comments. I'm kind of missing some of those. By the way, yes, Vicky did say that she was just saying it froze, and you know how these freeze on the funny, whatever. And so we keep talking, but the face is froze. So she was just saying that's pretty cool. But she did mention on here too, tossed about with every wind of distractions. Yeah, that's a good metaphor.
Yeah.
That's true. Yeah. And when we're not grounded, if with an intentionality, now one can say, oh, we're grounded in God, or we're grounded. Well, yeah, we are. We're grounded in God. But the reality is we live in this life where those winds are all over. And sometimes part of that grounding is the stick-to-itiveness and the tenacity and belief by faith that we are going to trust him and that we're going to adjust. So I like that. It's true. There's plenty of distractions out there. You're right, Vicky.
More and more
and
all the time.
We just got to be cognizant of them. What was your question, Hannah? What were you going to ask?
I'm thinking, we're talking about spiritual rhythms. And when you say that, I have something in mind that defines what a spiritual rhythm is. You have something in mind that defines. We should probably say, what are we talking about? What is a spiritual rhythm? Is it just praying every day? Is it reading your Bible every day? Is there the right rhythms and the wrong rhythms? How would you define
That's good.
spiritual rhythms?
Yep. Well, I think, first of all, I think when we look at Scripture, I don't think we see, this is the spiritual rhythms for your life. And I think we have different cultures and subcultures. We're in the West.
Look different for everyone.
Yeah, as I travel around the world, there's obviously different cultures and subcultures that those rhythms are going to be different. I can give examples of that, but before I do, I want to make sure that we want to hear from you in that too.
Yeah.
That's a great question.
Tell us in the comments, how would you define spiritual rhythms, or what does it look like in your life?
Yeah, and what are they? Yeah, what are some of those spiritual
rhythms?
So let me give you an example. First of all, the amount, some people have different economics, right? So some people make some amount of money, some make another. And, you can do different things based on what you have. Well, we also have different times and quantity of time and talent and treasure. So, for instance, sweetheart, when we're serving in East Africa, or if I'm in India or these different places, usually the ladies are the domestic workers at home, and they have when you talk about washing clothes, when we wash clothes, we go upstairs, we throw in the soap and the thing, we turn it on, the electricity, and it's washed, and later we throw in the dryer. They scrub every one of those clothes
by hand.
And then they get them out to dry, and then if it rains, it's wet, and they got to dry them again. So, I'm just saying that there's different economies out there in time, treasure, and talent. Okay, so I just want to make that known. And so it's even when you look at subcultures from within the United States and different people's occupations, and some people work early in the morning, some people work night shifts, some, I just want to be clear that there's not, to answer, it's not like, well, here's the magic formula. Here's the 7 irrefutable laws.
Every day.
Yeah.
And they're like, I am not a morning person. I'm not getting up early.
Right. And so I think that I want to give grace there. I want to be clear to that. And I think that's where hearing from others too about, what are you doing? What are the things that you guys are doing that is helping you?
How are you connecting with God?
Yeah.
And refreshing your soul?
But for rhythms, again, there's different than disciplines. I like your question because the discipline is, maybe it's fasting, or maybe it is contemplation or meditation. Maybe it's meditation. You're going to meditate on the word as a discipline. Maybe it's praise or worship. And maybe that worship, means I'm just not in venues where I find it easy to worship. So, I'm not going to say, oh, this is what you need to do. This is the day you need to. It's like, no, that's where you need to evaluate, step back, say, well, what's in my rhythm? What is in my rhythm that I need to adjust to give me the venue that is stirring in my heart for worship? And is that in a more liturgical thing? Is that in a more of a upbeat? What are you needing to be able to worship the Lord? And for me, I'll just give an example. mornings are pretty important around our house, for us
Right.
just to
Both of
carve
us,
out. Yeah, for
yeah.
both you and I. And that doesn't mean that that's more spiritual than someone that
It just
in the
works
afternoon. It
for
just
us.
works for us. We have the autonomy, and it's better for us to get up early. And usually that's 5-ish, 5 a.m. So about 5, and to take a couple hours in the morning to be able to just be with the Lord. And sometimes that's reading the Gospels. Sometimes that is extended time in prayer. I like to pray or walk. So I like to walk around our property or, walk and pray. Then in addition to that, I have set aside 3 days a week for like exercise, because I think the body is linked to that as well. It allows me to be stronger and more robust in my life.
Your thinking.
Yeah, and my thinking, I think more clearly. The endorphins kick in. So I think that's an important thing. So I think it's all linked, but that's a rhythm.
I've always admired the fact that you pray when you run, because my only prayer is that I don't die.
Yeah, well, mine's usually I
process.
start, Lord, get me home without an ambulance.
I cannot pray when I'm exercising.
Yeah. And I don't always, don't get me started. But I do even that though, that's a rhythm. Like my Monday prayer, when I haven't done it much in the last 4 months, but Monday I used to run down the downtown area, and I'd be praying for the businesses and that, and I just tie it in because I want that rhythm to be there. I did that for years, many years. So anyway, yeah, I want to make sure that I'm not communicating that, these are the how-tos that you have to do. But you mentioned a word earlier, and I think it's important, with intentionality.
Yeah.
I mean,
it takes a lot of intentionality.
Yeah, you got to be intentional.
This isn't natural in our own flesh.
Yeah. And I think that I want us just to focus on a couple things. We're almost done for tonight, but and if there's others that again have an opportunity to speak into this, we'd love to hear from you. There's a lot of people on here from different parts of the world. Don't be shy.
Tell us how you connect with God.
Yeah, we'd like to know, and not just the discipline. So in the dieting nutrition world, let's say the discipline would be, I'm going to eat better. Okay, I'm going to have better nutrition, or I'm going to have this type of exercise in my life. That's the discipline. But the rhythm is, when are we going to do that? How am I going to do it? What do I need to adjust in order to make that happen? So like in a music, for instance, it's not the melody and the harmony, it's the rhythm. What is the pace? What is the timing?
Signature.
Yeah, with a time signature. Ooh, music major. Yeah, nice. So seriously, I want you to think about that, because it's not just like, I need to start fasting, or I need to start whatever. That's not the point. Please know that's not the point. Well, I'd love to know, and I think what people want to know is, how do I take what I know I want to do, and how do I integrate that when I'm working this many hours? I've got this many shows to binge watch on Netflix. I've got, whatever. All of these things that we've got going in our life. And it's important for us to be able to say, okay, what rhythms need to be adjusted so that when I go forward in these disciplines, I've got some kind of rhythm that's changed. And we all know that, joining Planet Fitness might be part of a rhythm to help someone, think. But if they don't change in their rhythm, they could pay which is, I guess, a rhythm too. We pay an amount of money every month for a gym membership. But the reality is that you're not going to go unless it's adjusted in your rhythm. It's got to be in your rhythm.
And like any discipline, once you get going in it and it's established, you really do reap the benefits of it.
Yeah.
You start noticing such a difference. However, I was telling John before we went live that, doing these rhythms isn't a guarantee that you're going to have a perfect day.
That's right.
This morning I got up, I knew this was going to be a big day, a busy day. And I said, Lord, I need to start my day right with you, get right with you. Well, it's been a rough day. There were a lot of blows that came that were unexpected. And I suppose if I hadn't spent time with the Lord, I might have taken it even harder. But it doesn't guarantee that it's going to go smooth. So don't go into it thinking that this is going to make life, smooth and perfect, because life still happens. You still get jury duty on a day you don't want to go.
You did.
And that was just one of many little things to do.
But you didn't fall off a ladder while getting jury
I
duty.
did not fall off a ladder.
So
and
there's a bright
promise
side,
you
hon.
I won't do that because you wouldn't catch me up there anyway.
For those that are just joining us, you'll have to go back to the beginning to find out about my stupid escapades
But I have
on the
stabbed
ladder.
a knife in my hand.
Yeah, you
so,
have.
You know,
We'll do another entire show on stupid escapades that we have all done. We got lots of, emergency room visits. Hey, by the way, just a quick shout out to Casey Boothby. How crazy
Casey.
fun is it to see you on here, buddy? I just saw that pop up there, and I just had to say hi. Man, you make me feel old. I mean, he was a middle schooler when I was youth pastor. I think I got a ticket once. I think, Casey, didn't I get a ticket driving you home one night? Like 30 years ago.
It was either him or
yeah,
his
in my
brother.
van. I think in my old
been his
69
brother.
Ford van. I think it was Casey.
Well, anyway.
I think it was Casey, not Marcus.
Which ticket are we talking about,
Yeah,
John?
that's good, hon. Anyway, let's talk about something else later. Anyway, Addie wants to give you a little comfort, though. It says, I got paid $2 for jury duty, 10 hours.
10 hours.
They too. Wow, congratulations.
Addie.
Wow. I don't even know the math on that. Is that 20 cents an hour? I'm not sure. But anyway.
Thanks for the encouragement.
And yes, before we're going to wrap up the show pretty soon, we're going to get back into rhythms, but these people hopping on here, we just want to say hi to and thank you for joining us from all over. Hey, yes, Casey, it was the Power Pickle. Yes, pulled over for sure. Yes, I remember it was over by, it was in Baker City.
We
it
won't
was brutal.
say what you were doing.
I
to
was
get pulled
goofing
over.
around with the steering and throwing Casey back and forth in the thing. And I think I even got I couldn't even drive the church van, I think, for 2 years or something like that. I don't know what it was.
This is confession time.
Yeah,
It's one of those
confession.
rhythms that
Oh,
he's
man.
working on.
Yep,
So.
confession.
Good job, hon.
That's all right. That's what I like. Well, anyway, just an absolute privilege to see you on here, Casey. And I know that some of the others I see a growing number of people coming on here, and because again, we see what we call the eyeballs. We see the icon that says, "Hey, more people are coming on," and the different platforms that we're at. But they're spectators. They don't want to say anything. So anyway, good to see you
They're
guys.
trying to process.
So I want to read this one ahead. I hope it's okay. Let me see. I like to, before I put them on, it's public. So, hey, I'll just put it on here and we'll just see what it is. So it says, I have always had an excuse that I don't have time to read. So I spent the money on an app, Audible. Yes.
Hey.
And now I spend 30 minutes in every morning listening to an inspiration of things that fill my soul while multitasking, getting ready for work, etc. She said, what is the last part there? My day is feeling inspired. Yes, that's good.
Yay.
You know, Sherry,
Good
you
idea,
mentioned something on
Sherry.
there that I think is really important because a lot of times, hold on one moment.
Where are you going?
Oh, man, that's why my computer was just about to die.
Well, while he's fixing his computer, I'll just
Hey,
say
I just plugged my computer back in. Amazing.
That would have been scary.
No, I want to say just real quick, and then remember we say, Sherry, you brought up something super important. There are a lot of people that are auditory. So they listen, and I'm one of them. I listen to a lot of books. So thank you for doing it. That's another rhythm that some people don't want to do it while they just sit down and reading all the books. I do a lot of reading too, but listening is great. And Audible is a great tool. It's owned by Amazon. So if you have an Amazon app, you can get an account, you can do it. But I also, a little trick I use. A lot of times when I'm running, I'll listen to an audiobook. But what I'll do is I'll take a screenshot of it when I'm running, like there's something really important that I want to, and I'll screenshot it if I want to underline something in the book or go back to it. So then I'll just look at the time signature where it's out of my Audible, go back to it, and then I can highlight that and just read a page or, whatever that. Yeah, because a lot of times I'm wanting to really capture something that they said. And you should have told us I would have got you the Audible version, because didn't you win a few weeks ago, Mere Christianity? I think she did.
Yeah, she did.
She won on the book. So we're going to get to that, a prize for tonight. We only have 9 minutes left on our show tonight, but it's going to be good. I got a good book that I promised I'd be giving away this week. And so anyway, thank you, Sherry, for your input on that. It's very good. Great reminder as well. And then you were going to say something real quick. What were you going to say?
I was just going to say that I do the same thing. I listen actually to the Bible on the U version.
Oh,
There's
good.
some translations that are that you can listen to. So I'll put that on when I'm getting ready in the morning. And that way it's just constantly filling me up
That's a
before
good
I'm
one.
out and about. It's very helpful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Totally. That's great. YouVersion's a great app. It's Life Church out of Georgia. I can't remember where they're at. Developed that. It's really great. So
Yeah.
if you haven't got the Bible app, YouVersion,
That's a
snag
great
it
one.
for Apple as well as you can get it at the Apple Store or at the Google Play.
There's
all
another
right.
sponsor for us.
Yeah. Wow, man. All these sponsors that aren't sponsoring. Anyway, okay. So before we start wrapping up, because we've got to leave a little time for some dad jokes.
yeah.
Couple things. We also want to give the giveaway. I'm going to tell you what it is that we're going to be getting.
Tell us what the question.
Yep.
No, am I telling the question or are you telling the question?
I don't know. I think I am, but you tell me. I don't care.
It's
Ask
in
it.
blue. That means I do. But
Okay.
tell them what they're going to win today.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, this is what you're going to win tonight. Tonight, you're going to win a brand new book. It is going to be a book. It's called Uncommon Life, a Daily Challenge by Tony Dungy, Coach Dungy. If you don't know about Coach Dungy, then you just have never watched football in your life, NFL or college for that matter. Anyway, Coach Dungy, I'll read just a little biography. Strengthen the core of your life and faith as a year-long journey with beloved Super Bowl winning former head coach Tony Dungy. The 1-year Uncommon Life Daily Challenge contains 365 reflections from this New York #1 selling author. So, man, Coach Dungy, I think you're really going to appreciate those. We're giving this one away this week because last week we didn't have time. We ran out of time in our interview, and it was sports was the focus last week. So we're giving away Coach Dungy's book today. And here's the question. Okay, the question that Jennifer is going to give you for this book, and then I'll put it up there.
All right,
okay, are you ready? Here it is.
So, what is the organization where Kristen Rott is currently serving as the director for the state of Oregon?
Yeah, where is it? Tell me that. Tell me that, people. Because if you know the answer to that, you just put an A colon for answer, and you put it in the chat box and just put it in there, whether your Facebook, YouTube, whatever. We will see it coming through.
No.
Yes, but put A colon for answer colon, and then put the answer. And you can either put the full name, which I've given you already tonight. I mentioned it. Or you can give the abbreviated version, the 3 letters that talk about this.
If you're looking around going, who is Kristen Rott?
Then you didn't listen to last week.
Well,
Kristen Rott, by the way, is she's great. She was really great.
That was a lot of fun.
That was a lot of fun. So anyway, check it out. I see some answers. I see them coming through Facebook, YouTube. I see you. Okay, coming. Okay, we're going to give you a dad joke. And then after the dad joke.
We're waiting for all these answers.
Yes, for your answers to come in. We will do that. Let me see. They're coming. Okay, good. All right. So enough of that. You've already seen the question. By the way, I think we've decided that they're not just dad jokes. They're actually mom jokes because you're here too. I mean, let's bring the moms into that.
I'm not a faux pas.
Yeah. If you didn't get that one, that's a good one, isn't it? Remember that one from a few weeks ago? What's a guy that, a dad or a man that tells dad jokes that's not a dad? Yeah. A faux pas. Oh, I love that. That's a good one.
I'm a faux ma.
You're a real ma. You're the real thing.
That's true.
Nice try.
There's nothing fake about me.
Okay.
Okay, here we go. So, you're yellow.
Some of these I don't know in advance, so I just get them.
I should just tell them.
I just got an award for being the most secretive person in the office.
Wow.
I cannot tell you how much it means to me. I get it. Okay, that's pretty good. I didn't get to rehearse any of these. Right? You just threw these to me, so that's
I had
good.
a guy trying to sell me a coffin the other day. It's the last thing I need.
Oh man, that one's okay, honey. Come on. Well,
Why do I always get that wah, wah, wah?
That was bad. Okay, you guys can vote on that if you think it's
vote.
what's better.
Of course, I gave them both. Did both.
Yeah,
votes,
you
so.
you gave me the good one. Then yours is.
It's kind of like who wore it best, who told it best.
No, that answer is done. That is done. We don't even have to vote on that one.
We all know it was me.
Oh boy.
Who was
All
it?
right. Hey, don't forget you can send in your dad jokes to us. We always are looking through them. William Kellington, by the way, has been giving us a bunch of them. So thank you, William, for that. We got some good ones coming. I want to tell them so bad right now. I'm giving dad jokes
You
when we
pick
get
your
back.
own dad joke, and then I'll pick mine. And we'll
All right.
surprise
Well, I'm going to
each
give
other.
away the prize here to
Hey,
the
I got a
winner. Oh,
6.7.
they're coming in. They're coming in. I'm seeing more. Oh, 6.7 on general. Oh, yeah.
Oh, man.
John, 8.9 though.
Oh!
Woo! Thanks, Addie. I'll take that. 8.9. Yeah, that's what I got. I came just
Addie,
through.
you traitor.
However, Kathy, she's sticking up for you. She said she laughed louder at Jennifer's.
That was a sympathy laugh.
Yeah,
Thank you, Kathy. You're such a good friend.
That just means she didn't hear mine. That's all. I understand.
Moving on.
All right.
Who
well,
won?
I am going
John,
to
tell us
give
who
a
won.
winner, but before I do, I want to just remind everybody that next week's broadcast will not be live, so don't hang out live, but it will be launched or
It'll be here,
Yeah.
same time, same channel.
6 p.m. Thursday,
Just not live.
Pacific Standard Time. Yeah.
And you're going to love it.
You will.
Great couple that we're interviewing.
Yeah, really fun. And you'll have to forgive the makeshift studio things. We had to do like double cameras and the lighting
It was rough. But
wicked.
hey, we got
and-
some good content.
Yeah, we had good content. So maybe just listen to next week's and not look. Just don't look. But
They're
anyway.
like, we already
All
do
right.
that.
Well, a couple minutes before we go, we need to give a winner. So winner
Who's our winner?
is random. I got to use the randomizer because I can't really
Now you
say
got
it.
a
There
lot
hasn't
of them
been a
in
lot
there.
of people. And the winner is for the book. Who? What's going on? Oh, McNeff. Kathy McNeff. What is going on? You even texted us before the show. I promise there was no setup.
It's your prayers.
Kathy is even a board member of Eternal Impact. Unbelievable.
Way to go, Kathy.
There is nothing set up here. Unbelievable. Well, listen, the book is coming your way. You need to let us know whether you want it in paperback.
She wants it with a
Or
cup
if
of
you
coffee.
want
I
it,
know her.
yeah, maybe a cup of coffee. Okay, that's right.
You'll get
worthy.
it with a cup of coffee.
You get it with a cup of coffee. Cup of coffee, and you get it hand delivered, either the Audible. Well, we're not going to hand deliver the Audible. We're just going to send it to you. If you want Audible, if you want the book, so you can read it or pass it on to another, or if you want paperback, or if you want it on the app. Okay, so what do you call it? Kindle. Hey, congratulations. And she does say she wants it in person. So Coach
Of
Dungy's
course
book
she does.
coming to you.
I didn't
in
really give you a
person.
choice.
Yeah. The book. Yay. All right. Well, you guys, it is wonderful to be with you. And as we say every week, we want to thank you for being with us. We really do. This is fun, both with us live and on the restream. But until next time, friends, wherever you are around the world and whatever part you play in our lives, it's important. And we genuinely pray that the joy of life and the gift of His grace will be tangible in and through you as you live it out. So until next time, we love you, and we will
Have
see
a
you then.
great week.
All right, see you guys, and get those rhythms. Later.
Speaking of rhythm.
Ooh, there's some rhythm. Nice. See ya.